At the beginning of the story, we see a street dog who had been hungry for many days. That's why he was wandering here and there in search of food. He reaches near a chicken shop and somehow manages to steal a bone from there. But while running away, he bumps into a man, causing the bone to fall to the ground and get lost in the noise and chaos of the crowd. The dog becomes very sad. The disappointment in his eyes was clearly visible. At that moment, an army troop passes by while marching. Among them was a soldier named Robert. When Robert's eyes fall on the dog, he gives him a biscuit. The dog's eyes light up with joy. He becomes very happy and starts following Robert. Now we are told that during World War II, when the French and British soldiers were fighting together against the German army, America also joined the war. America's main goal was to defeat Germany at any cost. That's why they started giving military training to their young citizens, so they could be sent to the battlefield if needed. The dog follows Robert to the training ground. Robert enters the camp with the other soldiers. The dog also sneaks in through a broken wall and, following the smell of food, reaches the kitchen. But before he can eat anything, the chef spots him and scolds him, chasing him away. The dog runs off and bumps into Robert again. Seeing Robert makes him happy once more. Robert tries to explain to him that he doesn't have any more biscuits, but the dog doesn't understand. Now, he just wants to stay with Robert. During training, when a senior officer sees the dog, he likes him very much. He tells Robert to give the dog something to eat after the training session ends. After training, Robert takes the dog to the canteen and feeds him. Robert's friends warn him that if the colonel sees the dog here, he will be very angry and will have the dog thrown out of the camp. The next day, when Robert is training with the other soldiers, the dog runs and plays alongside them, full of energy. During training, when the senior officers notice that this dog is not afraid of gunfire like other street dogs and can even understand human commands quickly, they realize that this dog is not ordinary and could be useful to the military. One night, while Robert is playing with the dog, he names him Stubby. He also starts training Stubby to understand human commands. The next day, when the colonel visits the military camp to meet the officers, Stubby is there too. Stubby notices everyone saluting the colonel, so he imitates them and salutes the colonel as well. The colonel finds this very impressive and allows Stubby to stay in the camp. While living in the camp, Stubby becomes everyone's favorite. He begins to understand orders, and the officers grow very fond of him. Then comes the day when the camp's officers are to be sent to the battlefield. Their unit is named the Yankee Division. Before they depart, the colonel wishes everyone good luck and orders Stubby to stay at the camp to help with the training of new recruits. Robert becomes sad upon hearing this. He doesn't want to be separated from Stubby, but he has no choice. Before leaving, Robert gives Stubby a badge. Stubby is very happy to receive it. Robert asks the chef to take care of Stubby and then heads toward the train. Stubby somehow frees himself from the rope and follows Robert's scent until he reaches the train where Robert and the other soldiers are seated. Stubby sneaks onto the train and later reaches the ship with them. When he sees Robert boarding the ship, he hides inside a box being loaded onto the same ship. Night falls. Everyone is asleep when Stubby quietly comes out of the box. He searches the ship and finally finds Robert. Seeing Stubby on the ship, Robert is completely shocked. Robert's friend Olson warns him that if the general finds out about Stubby, they could get into big trouble. So, they try to hide him. But by mistake, Stubby bumps into the general. However, when Robert and the others salute the general, Stubby salutes him too. Then, he picks up the general's fallen cane with his mouth and gives it to him. The general is astonished. He realizes that Stubby could be very useful in the war. So, he orders the captain to make Stubby an official member of Robert's unit. Stubby is then given his own nameplate like the other soldiers. And just like that, Stubby transforms from a street dog into a military dog. Now Stubby reaches France with Robert and his unit. There, the British and French armies are fighting together against the Germans. But the German soldiers are proving too strong. During one of the German attacks, when the American and British soldiers are trapped under rubble, Stubby bravely searches for them and helps pull them out, saving many lives. Because of this heroic act, everyone becomes very fond of Stubby, and he becomes the favorite dog of the unit. When Robert meets his fellow French soldier Gaston, they quickly become good friends. Gaston then leads Robert and his companions to their camp. On the way, they see a destroyed city that had been completely ruined by the German soldiers. After reaching the camp, everyone rests through the night. The next morning, Robert goes on patrol with Gaston and Stubby. Hiding behind a high cliff, they use binoculars to spot German soldiers preparing a poisonous gas attack on the city. Seeing this, Robert, Gaston, and Stubby start running back to their camp to warn their troops in time. While running, Stubby notices a German soldier about to shoot Robert. Before the soldier can fire, Stubby pushes Robert to the ground, causing the bullet to miss him. Robert's life is saved. Robert and Gaston then hide behind a tree trunk. Robert realizes that the situation is very dangerous, as German soldiers have surrounded them from all sides. So, he shows Stubby a gas mask and signals him to warn everyone about the gas attack. Stubby understands and runs back to the camp. He grabs a mask in his mouth and rushes outside. The soldiers immediately understand his signal and quickly put on their masks. The German army then launches poisonous gas-filled rockets into the air. Soon, green gas spreads everywhere. A nearby village is also about to be engulfed by the toxic fumes. But before the gas reaches there, Stubby runs to the village and starts barking loudly. The villagers are startled by Stubby's cries. Then they see the sky turning green as poisonous gas spreads all around. They quickly put on masks, close their windows and doors, and hide inside their homes. Stubby is still outside when Robert and Gaston arrive on horseback. They quickly take Stubby inside a house and cover his mouth with a cloth to protect him from the gas. After the gas clears, the villagers come out and rejoice upon seeing Stubby. It was because of him that their lives were saved. The villagers now regard Stubby as their hero. Back at the camp, the captain announces that one soldier has gone missing after the German attack. Despite many efforts, his location remains unknown. Stubby understands the captain's words. Using his sharp sense of smell, he bravely navigates through the gunfire and explosions to find the injured soldier. The soldiers then use smoke grenades to rescue him. Once again, Stubby's bravery saves a life. Later, Robert's unit is ordered to move to another location for combat. Before leaving, a village lady gifts Stubby a handmade jacket, and Gaston gives him a mask so that if there's another gas attack, Stubby will have proper protection. After saying goodbye to everyone, they leave. In the next scene, the colonel informs all soldiers that they must now fight the German army face to face. Upon arrival, a fierce battle begins between their forces and the Germans. Stubby plays an important role in this battle, helping save many lives. At one point, Stubby cleverly lures several German soldiers toward the U.S. Army camp, where American soldiers capture them. But during one encounter, when Stubby tries to save a soldier from a grenade, he himself gets injured. Seeing Stubby wounded, Robert rushes him to the camp, where the doctor refers him to the hospital for treatment. Separated from Stubby, Robert becomes heartbroken. He loses all interest in fighting. Around the same time, Gaston is ordered to return to his own camp. Robert sadly bids him farewell, as Gaston was his only companion after Stubby's departure. Now alone, Robert writes a letter to his sister, expressing his grief over being separated from Stubby. The sadness weakens him, and he falls ill. When the doctor examines Robert, he realizes that Robert doesn't have much time left and might die soon. Meanwhile, Stubby's leg wound still hasn't healed completely, but he sets out to find Robert anyway. Along the way, he feels severe pain in his legs, but he doesn't give up. He keeps walking, determined to find his master. Exhausted, Stubby collapses on the ground, but soon stands up again, his eyes filled with the determination to reach Robert. Finally, after overcoming all the hardships, Stubby finds Robert. Seeing Stubby again fills Robert with immense joy. Stubby's presence helps Robert recover from his fever, and within a few days, he becomes healthy again. During his leave, Robert goes to Paris with Stubby and his friends. They spend quality time together, enjoying every moment. People there also respect Stubby because, by now, his bravery and loyalty had made him famous all over the world. During this time, Stubby helps the military capture a German spy. Impressed by this, the general promotes him to a high officer rank. Robert is also promoted. Stubby now becomes a senior figure among all the officers in the camp. Gaston returns and happily congratulates both Robert and Stubby on their promotions. Now a group photo is taken with Robert, Stubby, and the entire unit, which is featured in all the major newspapers of the city. Stubby becomes a national celebrity. In the next scene, the American and French armies join forces and push the German army back. When Gaston and Robert see the Germans' advanced bunkers, they are shocked. The bunkers are extremely strong and well fortified. A soldier tells them that the war is about to end because the government is going to announce a ceasefire the next morning. The commander confirms that at exactly 11 a.m., the official ceasefire announcement will be made, marking the end of the war. Hearing this, Robert and the soldiers are overjoyed because it means they can finally return home. But the next morning, the German soldiers suddenly attack again, and a fierce battle breaks out once more. During the fight, when Robert sees Gaston advancing alone, he follows him. After moving forward, he sees two German soldiers surrounding Gaston. To help him, Robert and Stubby rush forward. But just then, the ceasefire is announced. The German soldiers drop their weapons and surrender. Robert looks at his watch. It's exactly 11 a.m. That means he and Stubby can finally go home. Stubby is very excited, his eyes shining with joy at the thought of returning. But before heading home, Robert and Stubby go to look for their wounded comrades. During this, Robert finds his best friend's cap, a sign that his friend had died in battle. Heartbroken, Robert and Gaston bid their final farewell to their dear friend. After that, Robert parts ways with Gaston, and Stubby, along with the other officers, heads back to their city. At the harbor, a huge crowd gathers to welcome Stubby. By now, Stubby had become a hero throughout the country. He is received with the honor of a senior military officer. A photographer captures an iconic picture of Stubby, a photo that is still famous around the world because this story is real. Stubby truly played an important role in the war. He participated in 17 battles, saved countless soldiers, and won everyone's hearts with his courage. This story teaches us that even a small street dog, who had no uniform and no rank, possessed a spirit braver than many soldiers. He showed that bravery is never measured by size or appearance, and that humanity doesn't exist only in humans. Stubby may have left this world, but his loyalty, love, and sacrifice will forever be remembered. And perhaps that's what defines a true hero. If this story touched your heart, share it with everyone who understands the true meaning of loyalty.